On either side we pass two well-executed dwarpalas, or guardians of doorways. They are life-sized and appear wide-eyed and filled with youthful vigor. Among the many sculptures that have been found at the site is a grinning gunner, a dwarf, as is seen at Sanchi. An inscription states that he was the donation of a goldsmith, Kanhadas, which means servant of Krishna, the Hindu deity. At Bedsa, on the south face of the same range of hills as the Bhaja caves, is another magnificent site of excavations. The grand Chaityagraha is partly hidden from the profane world outside by a large section of the rock which has been left. In the Indic tradition, that which is important is always kept away from the glare of common sight. We have to make an effort to gain the joy and peace to be found inside. This magnificent Chaityagraha was made in the 1st century AD. These are the earliest seen pillars rising out of Purna Ghatas, or vases of plenty. From now on, this becomes a common motif of Indic art. On the pillar capitals we see animals with riders, as are seen in the contemporaneous Sanchi stupa gateways in central India. It is a vision in which men, women and animals are in harmony with each other and the world around. The figures are self-assured. Side walls of the veranda have horseshoe-shaped arches, commonly termed as Chaitya arches. The interior, dimly lit by the jali window in the front, is simple, leaving behind the profusion of images and sculptures. The heart of the mountain contains the stupa. The pillars around it and in the hall are plain. The devotee has travelled from the world of illusory shapes outside to be closer to the truth in all its simplicity. A small group of caves was excavated in the 1st century BC, overlooking the stream of Ulhas at Kondavane near Karja. Despite its ruined state, the magnificent facade of the Chaityagraha exhilarates the visitor. The figures made here are delicately modelled and are graceful. There is a sense of natural ease in the depictions of these times. The men and women express emotions with freedom and warmth, not often seen in later representations. Next to the Chaityagraha is an impressive and spacious vihara. The ceiling has an elaborate imitation of a network of beams and rafters. On a high hill opposite the range which has the caves of Bhaja, a grand Chaityagraha and viharas were created in the 1st to 2nd centuries AD at Karle. This is the largest of all Chaityagrahas to be carved out of the living rock. One must remember that these magnificent Chaityagrahas are not architecture really, but sculpture on an epic scale. For the Indian artist, the rock contains in its heart the divine. It is for him to but remove that which hides the image from our sight, to reveal the sacred nature of the hill. One can imagine how vast the task must have been to create such rock-cut shrines. The cutting of the rock began from top to bottom and front to back, creating the spaces and leaving stone for pillars to be shaped later. Even as the stone was hewn to create the structures, the finishing of the walls and the carving of detailed sculpture was taken up. As at Betsa, the facade of the cave is mainly hidden from the mundane world by a rock-cut screen. A recent shrine today further blocks the view. Outside the courtyard were 2 columns, of which one remains. On the side walls of the veranda are made large elephants, continuing the tradition seen at Pital Khora. The facade has on it 6 couples larger than life and filled with robust vitality. These are the yakshas and yakshis who embody abundance and fertility of nature, the forces that ensure the continuity of life. They were seen individually in the gateways of the stupas of Bharhut and Sanchi. Here they have come together as mithunas, or loving couples. Their closeness to each other in natural affection symbolizes the completeness of the world, of the harmony of the natural order. These are idealized human forms, presenting the symbolic essence of human life at its most vital. They graphically display the quality of prana, or the inner breath of Indian art. The grand hall is 124 feet by 46 feet and rises to a height of 45 feet. The pillars along the sides have Purn Ghatas, or vases of plenty. The capitals have seated animals carrying human figures. The ones facing the central passage are superbly rendered elephants. Each carries 2 onlookers, usually a couple and sometimes 2 women. They are seated in a friendly embrace and display a rare warmth. Inscriptions record the names of numerous individual donors who paid for the carving of various parts of the cave and its pillars. Worship continued at the site for at least 400 years, and there are later sculptures of the Vakataka period. There are many small rock-cut caves on 4 hills close to Junnar in Pune district. These were excavated from the 1st century BC till the 3rd century AD. There are several viharas here, of which the largest is on Suleiman Hill. To the vihara's left is a Chaityagraha with an inscription of the 2nd century AD. It was the gift of a resident of Kalyana. Within the Borivali National Park in Mumbai is the Buddhist cave site of Kanheri. It provides a view of developments in Buddhist art for 1,000 years from the 1st century AD onwards. The Chaityagraha Cave 3 was excavated in the reign of King Satkarni in the 2nd century AD. It has a courtyard with a rock-cut fence. Like Karle, it has 2 pillars in front. One pillar has a representation of the Buddha, the earliest one in Western India. The style of the figures here has similarities with the contemporaneous sculpture of the Mathura region of North India. The men and women have the sense of the breath and the movement of life.